All right, so since I've not given you a video for the past couple of days, I figured we're just going to talk about some of what is going on within the past week.
And we have a tremendous group of people here that have done a great, unified, beautiful job.
Some of the things that kind of caught my attention. Definitely, we're going to start with Donald Trump and this big, beautiful bill. Yeah, so the bill passed. Some people are happy about it, some people are not.
Notably, this weekend marked the passage of the legislative coup that was Trump's big tax and spending bill. Now,
Definitely, how do I feel about it? I'm not going to give you any opinion, but if we're talking about me personally, I do know the fact that he said no tax on tips and no tax on overtime is definitely something I'm going to benefit from because I'm a hardworking person. So if you're somebody who find yourself on the clock more often than you're supposed to, this is going to help you out. So definitely that is a win on my part. I don't know about how it's affecting you.
I'm going to let you know, there were some cuts.
The Medicaid cuts alone could total roughly $930 billion.
You could definitely let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. But yeah, how do I feel about it? I am going to be making more money, so I'm on the winning side. But I'm sure there are a lot of people who do not favor the bill. And
At least 11.8 million people at risk of losing their health coverage.
It also cuts another $285 billion in food assistance. An end to clean energy credits from the Biden era.
there are a lot of people who do not favor the bill. And they're definitely voicing their opinion.
New caps on the amount that students can borrow in federal loans.
3 million poor people and kids will lose school lunch help.
We're going to go to one of my favorite comedians, even though he seemed to be on the left. But this guy is kind of funny. So we're going to watch some of his clips and how he feels about the bill.
I think that last one is supposed to read, 3 million poor people and kids will lose school lunch.
You know, even though I know I'm going to be making more money from my job, from definitely going over my 40 hours a week, which I'm supposed to work, right? And the rest, it's supposed to be overtime. And usually when you work overtime, you get time and a half, right? So if that is not being taxed, meaning I'm going to be bringing home more money. But let's hear it from this guy and see what he has to say.
It's a lot of painful cuts on a lot of vulnerable populations. But to be fair, at least America will finally make a dent on the deficit.
So even though I'm going to be making more money from, working overtime, and those people who get their money from earning tips, they're not going to be paying taxes on it. Of course, there are a lot of cuts. Some people feel like, he's cutting a lot of incentive to people who are not making more money, and people who are rich are going to benefit even more. I don't really know if that's what is going on here.
And expand the deficit. That's impressive. That's one of those, hey man, how did you gain all that weight? Ozempic.
But one thing I do know is that if you are a able-bodied person, let me say you have no disabilities, right? And you're choosing not to work. I think that's the kind of cuts Trump is trying to make, and that is the kind of cuts he's making. Because you have so many people who are just ripping the system off. When I mean ripping the system off, just kind of like you had a lot of countries who were ripping the system off, kind of like with tariffs, right? So Trump was going after those countries who were ripping the system off on tariffs, and also not only the countries are ripping the system off. You have American citizens, people here in the United States, who are ripping the system off. If we're trying to be fair, it doesn't make any sense that I'm going to work, to earn my money. I'm happy he's not going to be taxing the money I make from overtime. And you have those people who are sitting home, choosing not to go to work.
I'm on Ozempic, and now I'm really bad.
Go to work. Choosing to make less money, just so they could qualify for some government benefits, right? You have that group, right? And that group in the United States, I think that group is increasing by the number. And you would think the people who really need the benefits are the ones getting it. No, it's not the disabled people getting it. It's not the elderly people getting it. I'm talking about able-bodied persons like me, who are choosing to stay home and play video games while snacking on Cheetos. Collecting food stamps, welfare, all type of benefits. Making as much money as I make, if not even more. Clocking in 80 hours in every 2 weeks. So I don't think that is fair, but I'm not over here judging them. But also, I just know if you're choosing not to work and you're relying on the government, you are really going to be upset because it's not going to work under Trump. other countries who are ripping America off from tariffs, like selling their goods to us but not letting us sell our goods to them, things of that nature. Trump definitely was cracking down on that. Illegal immigrants, like, dude, you gotta come to America, you gotta do it the right way, you gotta come to the front door, you gotta have the right paperwork. You can't be a criminal and trying to gain access to this country. Like, a lot of these things kind of like make sense, but the only reason why I feel like most people are having a fit is really because they're not doing the right thing. Those who are actually working hard and obeying the law are gonna benefit under the Trump administration. But those who are trying to be slick, get one over on you or get one over on the government, it's not going to work. Trump is cracking down on that. So it depends on the kind of lifestyle you're living. Are you playing by the rules? Are you being fair? Or are you trying to get one over on the government? Under Trump, it's going to be kind of hard. So that is something people kind of have to get used to. Other countries have to get used to it. People who are trying to cross the border and come in here illegally have to get used to it. And those who don't want to work and are physically able to work and have no disability, sitting at home is not going to cut it, dude. You're going to be broke. You're going to have to go get a job. America has way more jobs out there than people who are willing to work right now. So, yeah, Trump is definitely yanking the rug from underneath them. Dude, if you don't work, you're not going to eat. To some people, it may not be a good thing, but I think this is going to make the workforce actually stronger. Like, people are going to have to do better. Like, you have a lot of countries who have laws that are way stricter than America, like stealing, and people are losing arms for stealing. That's not the kind of law Trump is enforcing. Trump is saying, dude, get off your ass if you have no disability and go get a job. There's a lot of jobs out there, so do that. So that's how I feel about that. Of course, the media is going to spin it in whichever direction they want to spin it in so they could get the narrative out there they want you to believe. I mean, you tell me how you feel about it. You could definitely leave a comment about it. But in the word of hip-hop, the Clipse, I like Malice, Yeah, the Clipse, definitely. They got a new album coming out.
At 2 million down here.
And I heard it's filled with the greats. I'm talking about
When I was born, grandmama could see
Nas. Hope probably Jay-Z may be on the album. Of course, it's gonna be produced by Pharrell. I think it's gonna be great.
I be Bentley driven and very strategic. RM sleeve, no diamond.
In the middle of the beef with Drake and Kendrick Lamar,
I'm telling you guys what you missed, and you missed Drake's new song called What Did I Miss?
No, we ain't missing. What?
I saw a video where they asked Clipse from the Malice, what's your favorite song right now? It was like, Not Like Us. So definitely, that's just telling you he's chosen a side, which is him picking the side of Kendrick. So you know how that go. I don't know if there's gonna be any diss in that album, but
About it a bit right here, because if you've heard the song, there's a few lines that people are having some conversation about, because Drake is obviously so upset about Not Like Us in the whole pop-out concert.
I don't think it's extremely corny for him to be in a video surrounded by guns.
Hang around pussies who try me, let's go.
No, absolutely it is.
Ain't valid, you ain't malice. Been quiet, ain't right, you ain't Paris. Blow money, you owe money, we ain't valid.
there's this TikToker, Lillly, Tino. I just find it interesting. I feel like Trump has single-handedly created some kind of turmoil in the world of the LGBT and plus community, because I don't think they're getting the kind of support that they used to get.
Wow. Okay. 9 million views on my TikTok.
They seem to be going at each other now. I'm watching other people within the community go at others within the community, which I think it's chaos. Like, by the time you start turning on each other, like, a family that fights loses. Like, if this is supposed to be a family or a group, they definitely is turmoil within that community right now. I find the L's going against the T's, the B's going against the T's. A lot of them are really going against the T's,
The school and went viral pretty quickly on TikTok, with her 5th video getting 9 million views in 2 days. The video in question is a series of images showing how sad Lillly, or Nicholas at that time, was before the transition.
I don't know what is really going on, but I feel like since Trump got into office, it's not cool to be, not straight. I don't know if I could say that, but I don't know, but it seemed like
Wow.
Trump is definitely
Okay.
his administration or his presence or his presidency. It's made it not so
views on
popular
my
to
TikTok.
be within that community right now. So even members of that community is not as loud about it. They seem to be more in a hush about it now. People are not as flamboyant as they used to be. Everyone seems to want to, put their head on straight. I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I do know there's a change. There's been a change. And it's not been more than 6 months. I think it's probably like 6 months since Trump became president again. 47. It's for the second time Trump for his second administration. I mean, like, it's just so much going on, so much change. Everyone has to play by the rules and behave better. It might just be a good thing. But I'm sure others have other opinions. And feel free to share. If you like this video, feel free to comment in the comment section. Share it if you like. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.